19 Claude code mistakes that pro users are still making. And honestly, I was making most of these too until recently. Because pretty much every rule you have learned about using Claude has been rewritten in the last 6 months. And most people are still running on the old rules. So let me walk you through all 19. And you can tell me how many you're still doing. Mistake number 1, using personas in your prompts. You know the ones. You are a senior copywriter with 20 years experience who writes all my marketing copy. Someone actually tested this. 162 personas across 2,500 prompts. And the prompts with a persona did no better than just asking the question directly. Those lines are not even being read. Instead, spend those same words on 3 things. Tell it where to look for context. Give it a definition of done, and add a self-check. Before you finish, verify your answer against whatever our check should be. Same word count, but now every word is being used. Mistake number 2, writing. Do not do X. Do not return this as markdown. It confuses the model when it conflicts with what you are actually asking. Instead of do not return as markdown, say write it as smooth, flowing text paragraphs. Tell it what to do, not what not to do. Mistakes 3 through 5 are all about tools and connectors. Number 3, running routines with full tool access by default. Every connector is added by default when you set up a new routine. That is unsafe and costly. Go in and remove the connectors you do not need. Number 4, tool access set to auto, which loads every tool definition into context on every single message. People have measured this, and it is costing them thousands in tokens. Go to connectors and change tool access to load tools when needed, not tools already loaded. Number 5, used to be advice to remove MCP servers you use infrequently, but that is outdated now. Tool search is on by default, so only tool names load up front, around 120 tokens each. The actual schemas get pulled on demand. So adding more MCP servers now has minimal impact on your context window. Number 6, skills built in the terminal do not carry over to Claude Codework. If you build a skill in the terminal, it lives under .claude/skills, but Codework cannot access those. You have to add it as a zip file or recreate it inside the Customize window. And Codework loads all skills at session start, so enabling a skill mid-session requires a restart. Number 7, subagents cost about 7 times more tokens than standard sessions. They are brilliant for broad searches and parallel investigation where not a lot of context is required, but they are expensive for actually doing things. If a task needs high context, keep it in the main session, or just fork the conversation instead. Number 8, fast mode. It is 2.5 times quicker, runs on Opus, and it is great. But here's what catches everyone. Fast mode is based on your API credits, not your subscription plan. And the first time you enable it in a conversation, you pay the full fast mode price for all of your existing cached data. So if you are 100,000 tokens into a conversation and you flip on fast mode, all of that cached data becomes uncached. That could be a really expensive click. Number 9, do not edit your cloud.md mid-session. It is read once at session start and held in memory. If you add a rule mid-session, it will ignore it until you restart, clear, or compact. Number 10, your Claude.md is probably too long. Anthropic tested this. If Claude keeps doing something you do not want, despite having a rule against it, the file is too long and the rule is getting lost. The instruction files that perform best sit around 300 to 350 words. Claude Code's own system prompt is around 50 instructions. If yours is over 100 lines, trim it. You can run /doctor and ask it to propose trims to your cloud.md that will not impact performance. It will find sections you can cut and tell you how many tokens you will save. Number 11, subagents do not inherit your full context. They get their own system prompt, the task you gave them, and the cloud.md hierarchy. But no conversation history, no output style, no auto memory, and no files already read into context. Built-in explore and plan agents get even less. They skip cloud.md entirely. So if your subagent needs certain rules, restate them in the task instructions directly. Number 12, auto compact behavior changed. It is no longer a percentage. you can now set a fixed token amount. Run auto compact and set it to 100,000 tokens, and it will compact every time it hits that. Quality degrades long before the context window is full. Number 13, bigger context window is not more memory. Anthropic tested Opus on long context retrieval. At 256,000 tokens, 93% accuracy. At 1 million tokens, it dropped to 76%. That is a 1 in 4 chance your rules are not being retrieved. Use auto compact. Number 14, compaction is not all or nothing. Hit escape twice to enter rewind mode, jump to a previous point, and you get an option to summarize up to here. That auto compacts everything before that point while keeping the rest intact. Number 15, in plan mode, hit Ctrl-G to edit the plan directly in VS Code. Instead of going back and forth asking Claude to tweak the plan, you just edit it yourself. Tell it you updated the plan, and it acts on the new version. Saves you a ton of tokens. Number 16, switching to a cheaper model mid-conversation can actually cost you more. Every model has its own cache. If you are 100,000 tokens into a conversation with Opus, and you switch to Haiku for a simple question, you pay to build the prompt cache for Haiku. Then, when you switch back to Opus, you pay to rebuild that cache again. The cheaper model just costs you more than staying on the expensive one. Number 17, use a verification layer instead of being the verification layer. Anthropic says this is the single most impactful tip in their entire guide. 4 levels. 1, ask for a check in the same prompt. 2, use /goal for a separate evaluator that rechecks after every turn. 3, use stop hooks that physically block the turn from ending until your script passes. 4, the best one, an adversarial review agent that finds gaps. But tell it to flag only what affects correctness or your stated requirements, otherwise it will keep finding problems forever. Number 18, your conversation history is disappearing. By default, Claude Code only keeps 30 days of previous sessions. If you want to keep your history, go into your settings.json and add cleanup period days set to 365. And 0 does not mean unlimited. It wipes everything. Your auto memory files are exempt from the sweep, but you cannot resume those conversations. Number 19, 4 commands almost nobody types. /doctor runs a full health check on your Claude Code setup. It finds unused skills, MCP servers and plugins, shows how much they cost in context, and proposes trims to your claude.md/. Insights generates an HTML report analyzing up to 200 of your recent sessions. By the way, lets you ask a quick side question without interrupting your main conversation. And Branch copies your current conversation so you can take it in a different direction while the original stays intact. So that is 19. And if I had to pick the 3 that matter most, it would be these. 1, drop the personas and spend those words on where to look, what done looks like, and a self-check. 2, trim your Claude.md to under 350 words. 3, use a verification layer instead of being the verification layer. The teams that figure this out are going to ship faster with fewer errors. The ones still running on the old rules are burning tokens and wondering why their output quality is inconsistent. Which of these caught you?